So when you wake up in the morning, first of all, it's questionable whether when we say we woke up in the morning, whether it's actually true that we've fully woken up. Very often we might jump up out of bed on autopilot before we hit the floor where we're being driven. Why not actually not jump out of bed the moment we are awake? What about maybe even setting the alarm clock 10 minutes earlier than you need to? And when it goes off, finish the job of waking up by rolling into this corpse pose and just feeling the body as a whole lying here, breathing. And just feeling the belly rising on the in-breaths, falling on the out-breaths. And the invitation is to fall awake. How might we do that? We can tune into the breath sensations in the body. And in this posture, of course, there's nothing to constrain the belly, so you can actually feel the belly ballooning up and out on each in-breath without forcing or pushing it at all, but just the natural expansion as the diaphragm contracts and the volume of the chest expands. And then the opposite on the out-breath, the breath leaves the body, the diaphragm comes back up, and the abdomen drops back down towards the floor. And we can ride on the waves of the breath wherever the breath sensations are most vivid for you. So, of course, practicing in this way, the mind will not stay with the belly or with the flowing movement of the breath, but it'll wander off. It'll get caught up in the thought stream. When you notice that your mind is not here in the body, in the belly, feeling the breath moving in and out in a natural flowing movement, then noticing what is on your mind. The body's still doing what the body's doing. You're just not paying attention because you've gotten carried away, because you've gotten distracted. So can you notice what is on your mind now that you noticed it? And then without blaming yourself or shaming yourself or actively pursuing whatever it is that you got caught up in, can you come back to the belly? Can you come back to simply lying here on your back and experiencing the breath flowing in and out effortlessly through the body, moment by moment by moment, and breath by breath as we lie here. Each time you find the mind wandering, noticing what's on your mind, and then gently escorting it back to your belly, back into the body, and right back into this moment. And then you can play with, say, try to put all your attention in your right hand. And what are you experiencing as you put your mind in your right hand and feel what's here to be felt? As I do it, I'm experiencing a universe of sensations in the right hand, mostly in the palm, but also in the fingers and the back of the hand and the thumb, of course. It's just a very rich sensory landscape. And so now let's take our attention and just see if we can drain it out of the right hand and bring it over and let it fill the left hand. And just seeing what the result of that intention is, to pay as close to 100% attention to the sensory field of your left hand, having let go of the right hand. How does it feel in the left hand right in this moment? And how does it feel in the right hand? And can you hold both hands and see if there's any difference between the two? And then if there is, can you let that difference equilibrate so that both hands have the same degree of attention? We're holding them both in awareness to the same degree and feeling what's here to be felt. However vivid or however dull it may be, that's not important, but just feeling whatever's here to be felt, including nothing. If you're not feeling anything, not a problem. All interesting data. Now let's move down into the feet. And can you feel your feet and pay attention to the sensory field of your feet and let go of the hands for now? And just feel what's going on in the feet. Any and all sensations, whatever's here to be felt or sensed. And then, just as we did with the hands, could we focus entirely, say, on the right foot? And see what happens when we do that. As if you're really attending, really listening, however you want to frame it metaphorically, to all of the messaging, let's say, that's coming out of your right foot, all the neural messages, all the sensory domain of this end of our right leg, the foot, what we call the foot. And then how about playfully moving over to the left foot and letting the right foot just be, and now we're going to focus all of our attention as best we can on the left foot and just feel what arises. We're not trying to force anything. We're not hunting for some ideal. We're simply seeing what our experience is as we play with paying attention in this way to our extremities. And then can you let the right foot and the left foot equilibrate so that we're giving them equal attention? And then before we close this out, let's see about just attending to the left foot and the left hand. What happens then? And maybe the whole left side of the body, including the entire left leg and the left arm and the whole left side of the body right up through the middle of the head. Including the left ear. And then can we switch and let go of the left side of the body and attend to the entirety of the right side of the body? right foot, right hand, and actually the entire right side. Just feeling what's here to be felt, not forcing anything. No thinking is actually required for any of this. We're just apprehending how it is in the body. And then finally coming back to feeling the entirety of your body lying here in this corpse pose. Breathing. And now you get out of bed. So that in a certain way you've at least experimented with or explored awareness of the body, mindfulness of the body, and tuned the instrument a little bit before you intentionally and mindfully get yourself out of bed and then proceed with whatever is coming next. And maybe some of that mindfulness will carry over into the bathroom or to waking up the kids or to making breakfast or whatever is next. But in that way, if you engage in this virtually every day, it takes almost no time. And you don't have to do it exactly the way I did it. You can play around with sensing the body in all sorts of various ways. But what you're really doing is attending, tuning in to the body as it begins its day. And you can see whether this in some sense doesn't prime your ability to carry the momentum of this meditation practice through the entirety of your day, moment by moment by moment, until you're back in bed at the end of the day. And then tomorrow morning, a new day, new beginning, same thing. Checking to see when you say, I woke up, whether it's actually true or whether we can, in some sense, tilt things in the direction of greater embodied wakefulness before jumping out of bed. Lying in bed meditations also have the virtue of they deal very effectively with the excuse that we don't have any time. Once I'm out of bed, it's like I'm already too busy. Of course, that's not true, but that's one story we tell ourselves. But here you've already taken care of it in a relatively short period of time, and at least you've primed the pump. You've set the tone for the entire day. And you're also beginning to explore the territory of falling awake in the lying down corpse pose, which will be very, very important when we come to practicing the body scan, to be fully present and outside of time, moment by moment by moment. Not just as the practice unfolds, but actually this is your life unfolding. And we're discovering that there's no separation or difference between your practice and your life.